Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. We are going to be doing a blonde tutorial today. Our model today has pretty blonde hair. She honestly didn't get it done that long ago because her roots are like pretty good, but it's warmer than she wants. She wants to go a little bit brighter, ashier, and then adding the extensions is gonna make it even brighter, longer, thicker, everything. So I'm gonna do a little blonde tutorial for you guys today, show you how we tone extensions once they're installed to match the hair. So if you're interested in watching this, stay tuned.
Okay, so this is a question I get asked a lot. A lot of people wonder if we like to install extensions before or after color, and it honestly depends on the client. With someone like her, she's like a level 7, like I said, her roots weren't that bad. Underneath is a little darker, but up top it was not that grown out. So we know how she's gonna lift for the most part. She told us her hair history and we're not really worried about getting the result we're wanting. So we're doing the extensions first so that we can tone all of the blondes together after the color at the bowl or the toning station, and that way we can just make sure everything blends perfectly. If it was a client who I wasn't sure how they were going to lift, or it was like a color correction and I didn't know where they'd end up, I would do the extensions after so that I didn't put the wrong color of extensions in them and then have them not lift to match. So we are doing 2 rows of beaded wefts using J-tied wefts on her. This is what a row looks like once it has been stitched in. Stu and I are tag teaming this, which is typically what we do when we work together. We are using the colors Freddie and Natalie, which are beautiful. And the Freddie is like a soft rooted dimensional blonde and the Natalie is a soft rooted brighter blonde. So this is honestly one of my favorite combinations for rooted blondes like this one, and it's gonna be so beautiful. So we put those in and now we are just going to be highlighting around them. I am going to be doing some teasy lights down towards the nape. Her hair is a little more fragile and thinner up here, so I'm doing teases to kind of diffuse that out. And it's also going to give us a pop of brightness under here since it is a little bit darker and more grown out underneath. So that's what I'm doing with the first few foils. Using a board is a lifesaver in the nape and above the ear especially. That's where I tend to use it the most. And then once I have like a sturdy face of foils built up, then I kind of move on without the board. Normally with teasy lights, I leave the foils out flat and I stack them instead of folding them up. But since her hair is a little bit shorter under here, I felt okay folding them up. If it had been any longer, I probably would have stacked them. I'm just following the curvature of the head underneath that first row, doing this little pattern. And then I'm gonna work in between the 2 rows that we placed and then go above them. Now that I've done a few teasies around the nape, I am just transitioning into regular highlighting. I'm going to be doing a combination of both a ribbon highlight, which is kind of like a thicker stitch pattern to make the blondes pop, and then also incorporating some baby light so that it blends really well. And then Stu is doing the same thing in the front hairline. So I'm just following the curvature of her head. If you guys have seen any of my hair tutorial videos, you probably know that I love this pattern because it ends up being unique to the client and I use it on a lot of people, whether it's a brunette, a blonde, lived in, or highlighted to the root. I do love this pattern. It all just depends on how tight you stack the foils and what your stitching pattern is. Those 2 things are really going to differentiate each different client. So you can now see I am working my way up with that same pattern, getting towards the top of the head, and we're just continuing that same thing. We let her process for about 35 minutes and she lifted really, really quickly. And we are now back at the bowl. So we did a root shadow of Goldwell Colorants 7N, 7NA, and that just kind of matches her natural base, and the NA is there to kind of cancel out any warmth. She had a little bit of gold existing and she lifted a teeny bit warm, but it was really good and that just helped shadow it perfectly. A shadow is usually about 1 inch to 1.5 inches dragged down and then just tapped in the front, and that is what we did here. And we are now toning the mids and ends using 9P, 9GI, and then also a little bit of 10P as well. We are now adding in tapes after the wefts. We do this because you cannot wash the hair after tapes. So we do wefts before the color and tapes after. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and loved the results as much as we did. This girl was so beautiful and her hair turned out amazing. Let me know if you would like more videos like this in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a great day.